Hey folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to make a bookmark using our beads from, come on babies, come out of the baggie, from our Bargain Bead Box's Sunken Treasure. Here's our blank we're going to use. This is a Shepherd's Hook bookmark blank. I get these at either Beadaholic or Art Beads. So used to be these were really inexpensive. They usually cost me less than $1. Nowadays it's more like $2.50, $3. So just a warning if you're going to be making these. So we're going to turn down, and I'm going to use my beads from my stash. Well, I'm going to use spacers from my stash and beads from our Sunken Treasure Bargain Bead Box. And since an octopus is was their main piece for the Sunken Treasures Bargain Bead Box, I have some of these little guys in my stash. So we're going to use him as the ending charm. So let's turn down and I'll show you for sure what we're going to do. So here's our beads, here's our stick, and our little octopus. I also have some dark blue lapis colored soft flex medium beading wire. And we have, oh, there's one of my crimps. We need to get that out of the way because we don't want to get it into our design. This Carnelian is going to be our main bead. And we're going to take this double bead cap, put here, and then this dyed Malaysian Jade on the other side. Then this guy. Then we're going to do a large small spacer, one of these little bicones, same up at the top, small spacer, bicone, small spacer, bicone down here, bing, and then we'll do small spacer, large spacer, and this orange window bead. Come on, you get your spacer up here. So, oh, maybe I had it up there. I did. This goes down here. And this goes here. So it's curled over here right now. And it's not going to be, of course, that long once it's finished. But it's going to hook on right here. And then we have this. And I just realized I don't have my jumpring for the top. But that's not hard. We'll get that right now. And that hooks it onto our stick. So let's get some of our soft flex out. And how I usually measure this is take and go to the top and the bottom and give it a couple of extra inches because we need to have that room to do our turns. So we'll get our clippers out and cut our wire. We'll set it to the side. And then we are going to, the first thing we'll do is get a crimp tube. Now these are 2x2 crimp tubes. We're going to put it through our octopus's hole. Is right here in the top of its head. He's our charm at the bottom. So we're going to put him on. Make sure we have given him a little space to move, and that our wires aren't crossed in our crimp tube. Then we're going to get our magical crimpers. They have a divot right here in the middle. You put your 2x2 crimp tube right in the middle and squish. Then you turn and do it again. And I squish until it's not squishing anymore. And we have this little round. So then we're going to just load our beads onto here. Now, if any beads don't go over that wire, then we'll cut our wire off down there. And I probably will have to cut it off at least after my spacers here. And maybe even before my spacers, because sometimes the little spacers doesn't want to have two wires through them. Oh, it went on with no problem. Now we'll see how the bicone does. Now, I've had the bicone go through both wires before, and I've had it so it just does not want to, no matter what I do. So, but this one is behaving really well. So then a little spacer and the bicone again. And come on, little spacer, go over the wire. There we go. We're good. Now it's little spacer again, the big spacer, my Malaysian Jade, the double bead cone, Carnelian, double bead cone, Malaysia Jade, our big spacer, little spacer. Now see, I'm going to have plenty of extra wire here. I could have cut it a little smaller. I prefer extra to not enough or too small because it's really hard to get the wire to turn if you've cut your wire too small. So I always try and give myself plenty, though this was a little plenty too much, it looks like, but that's all right. Okay, so now we've got our bead strand on. It's going to sit like so. I like my bead strand to be about the length of my stick. Some people prefer them shorter, some even like them a little longer. I don't like them a lot longer. A little is all right, but a lot is, well, a lot is a lot. So now we go through our pieces here. And this side looks like it may not want to go through our, oh, there we go, it's going. But this one doesn't want to, so that's fine. We can just pull it up to right here. Let it push down all the way, pull our wire up. You need to give it just a little bit of a gapping space right there because your crimping pliers needs a little space to get in. Crimp. Give her a tug. So now that we've got that all done, we just need to cut our wire off right here. Make sure you cut the right one. And then we've got our bead strand right here, all done. And the next step is simply to hooking it on to our hooking it onto our bookmark piece. So we'll open up this jumpring, go through our loop that we left here on the end of our bead strand. There's a hole right here in the blank. Go up and through the hole. Okay. Now I'm going to just let this go to the mat so that it's easier to control it. Nope, come on you. And then we'll just, we want to make sure our jump ring is all the way closed because we don't want to have it slide out. So there we go. Now you could attach it directly to the stick if you wanted to, not use the jump ring. That's perfectly fine. And I did, you see, we do leave a gap here. Now if you don't like that gap, you can always put a crimp cover over it. You You don't have to. The gap is not a big deal. It's not a big gap, as you can see. But if you do want to put a crimp cover on it, I have multiple crimp covers here because I have one of these Beadalon packs that is got crimp covers on it. So I'll just get a crimp cover and close that baby back up. And to put this on, you just put them on in your pliers, just like so. Then go over it and squish. Now, it's not going to be closed all the way, most likely, so then you'll pick it up, bring it over to you, squish it again until you get it closed so that you're happy with it. Oop. Now that one just went a little sideways on me, so I'm going to have to work it a little bit so it's, there we go. Sorry, I was not happy with the way it was looking, so I was moving it down so that I can get this to slide inside here a little better. That's better. So there it is. There is our bookmark using our beads from our Sunken treasure and a little octopus there at the bottom. Isn't that cute? So there we go. There's our little bookmark with our octopus on it to represent our Sunken treasure bargain bead box. I'm not entirely happy with my crimp tube, but that's all right. I mean my crimp cover. Oh, there, that's much better. There we go. So isn't that pretty? And if you haven't ever used one of these things, what you do is you just put this down in the spine of your book, the blank, and mine are pretty thin. I mean, some of them have designs on them, they're pretty thick, but mine are relatively thin, the ones I use. And then your bead strand hangs out in the outside of your book, resting on the spine of it. So there we go. There's our bookmark using our Bargain Bead Box's June Box Sunken Treasure. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.